And to talk about that some more, I am delighted to introduce Mark Greentree, who is the Director of Technology for Learning at New South Wales Department of Education right here in Australia. Mark, come on up. Welcome.
Thank you, Cutie.
Great to have you here on stage.
Great to be here with 1,600 of our closest friends.
Absolutely. So you have had a very great, interesting career in education over the last few decades. So bring us into your world, what it's like and what it's like to be at New South Wales Department of Education.
So I work for the New South Wales Department of Education, which serves over 800,000 students across New South Wales, which makes us the second largest educational jurisdiction in the world, just outside of New York City, but we are 5.7 times the size of New York City. So large and so spread out across the state that we actually have some schools in a different time zone. So you can understand the complexity that some of the field teams that work to support the technology, who are joining here today in the crowd, have to drive sometimes 7, 8, 10 hours to get to these schools to provide support. Now, my role, I'm the Director of Technology for Learning, and this is after I've served many roles in the department, from a teacher, through a principal, through a consultant working as a principal with the department, and now I get the pleasure and privilege of supporting schools in being able to utilise the technology and the backbone infrastructure to really uplift the way in which we teach and engage students in education. So it's an exciting time, and it's a great opportunity now to really harness the technology to really uplift students' performance.
Thank you, that's great. So tell us a little bit about how you're using technology in this vast network of schools that you have.
So we've just completed a project called the Connecting Country Schools program. So using Aruba backbone, we've basically connected 907 schools in rural remote areas, transformed learning spaces in 13,000 learning spaces so that we can enable the modern technology to operate in schools, provide anywhere, anytime learning for students. On top of that, we also have another great program called STEM.T4L, which is Science, Technology, Engineering and Maths, Technology for Learning, whereby we've rolled out 660 kits of equipment, including robotics, virtual reality, 3D printing, coding, filmmaking, so that we can enhance the way in which students and teachers approach the use of technology. We want teachers to be able to engage and feel comfortable in that space. We want students to be digitally resilient in the way in which they use technology, so that as we lift their skills and make them more confident and capable in problem solving, they can actually embrace that for the future.
That's fantastic. It would be great to talk about outcomes and any special examples that you can talk about when you use technology.
Look, the amazing things with technology is the fact that we can do so many things today that we weren't able to do yesterday. And one of the great projects I think that we've done with one of my teams, we call it the Utilisation Innovation Team, is we actually push the edge in terms of what we can do with technology. One area that we've pushed the edge with is telepresence robots. So we utilise telepresence robots now in hospital schools to engage with students who actually are quite ill and unable to attend schools. We put these robots either in the hospital so they can move from their ward to actually participate in lessons, or we place them in their home school so they can actually connect with their students and their friends. We also use it for students that have disabilities. So, in fact, better than me tell you a story, how about we share the story from Selena, who's going to share her story about her son, Ethan.
Let's have a look.
My name's Selena Lucas, and I am a single mum of 2 beautiful boys, Ethan and Dean. I'm a stay-at-home mum, so I haven't worked for about 10 years because I'm a full-time carer looking after both children, but primarily Ethan, who is 9 and who has a very rare brain condition called polymicrogyria, bilateral generalised. Ethan, he attends St George School, or he's enrolled into St George School. However, attendance for Ethan is far more challenging, and as he gets older, it's becoming more difficult. So in the last 2 years or 2.5 years, he's averaged per year around 25 to 30 days per year. So we've managed all that for some time, but in this year his attendance has decreased significantly. Fortunately, through having a discussion with someone at the Department of Education, I sort of shared our story, the fact that Ethan was struggling to attend school and it was becoming more challenging. And then the suggestion came up of, well, hey, look, we think we've got a solution. Let's try a telepresence robot, put it in the classroom to represent Ethan, and we'll live stream back home on his iPad. Suddenly we've bridged the gap to Ethan's education. When he wakes in the morning, he's waking with purpose. So we can say to him in the morning, you're going to school today, we're going to be dialing you in. He has his little school uniform on ready, and he goes into his chair, and as we're putting him in his chair, he's starting to smile. There's anticipation that he knows that he's going to be connecting into school. Well, he's attended his first assembly ever in 2.5 years. Not only did he attend an assembly, he actually accepted an award through using the teleconference robot. So through remote control, we navigated in the playground and went and accepted an award. There was huge cheering from St George School. It was, a wonderful moment. Like, I've got shivers saying it, thinking about it, because it brought us so much joy that he had that opportunity. He's never had that opportunity. He could hear the teachers' voices. He could hear the students. He's smiling, he's beaming. We had just added another dimension to his life. And you can't measure that as a mum. It's life-changing. It's added a quality of life it's increased his quality of life. It's more joy, more social connection, more education opportunity. You can't measure that. How does someone measure that? It's wonderful.
Amazing story. Every time I saw that video last night, and even this time, it really touches you.
It's hard not to.
It really, for all of us who come in every day hoping to make a difference, when you see that video is what motivates us. So thank you for bringing Aruba into your world and allowing us to partner with you. It's been a decade since you brought us into New South Wales Department of Education, back in the day with Wi-Fi, and now, of course, with all our wired technology as well. So thank you so much.
And the thing is, this technology and these learning examples are only the tip of the iceberg. They're not possible without a strong Wi-Fi solution or a strong technology backbone, because obviously telepresence robots can't stay connected to a cable. If it doesn't work at the end, then it just doesn't work. So for Ethan, it's a life-changing experience. The other sort of projects that we're looking at doing are also life-changing experiences. So looking forward to where we go now, I'm looking at working with juvenile justice and try and actually bring virtual reality into the juvenile justice centres to enable those students that haven't really had the best start to their life to actually experience some educational experiences that they can't experience while being incarcerated, so that maybe they can actually start to build themselves a new future. And it's with partnerships such as yours, where we can build something that is simple, reliable, and effective, that will work when you need it to work. That's what we hang our hat on. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing us into your world, and I can't wait to see what you're going to do next.
Absolute pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Mark.
Everyone.